He asks, how was the little show that he just put on? Suddenly, the goddess of luck comes near him. Shin gets a little startled, thinking whether he was a bit too cocky. He is not sure, since he never experienced this in his past life, but the next moment he thinks that he needs to be more confident. On the contrary, Goddess of Luck is interested in him. Goddess of Luck is intrigued as she has never seen a lucky swordsman before. Shin laughs upon hearing it. He says that he has been told that he is pretty lucky. Shin Shang-yun finds it a relief that it looks like all the constellations are interested to form a contract with him. So he thinks that he should take his time to confirm it. Cleaner of a fallen dimension praises Shin for his hidden cruelty, since Cleaner of a fallen dimension is a common constellation for slayers. Shin wonders whether the Cleaner is interested in him because he killed all of those goblins in a short period of time. On the other hand, the Pilgrim of Grand Space is curious about Shin's true intentions. Shin is not sure why Pilgrim of Grand Space appeared because he is pretty sure this constellation only appears to players who have the affinity to become a saint. If that's the case, he assumes that the Pilgrim of Grand Space appeared because the Goddess of Luck is here. He heard that she's pretty popular, even amongst the different constellations. The Goddess of Luck looks at Shin. She claims that since she does not have any exclusive desires, even if Shin were to choose a different constellation now, she promises that he can contract with her at a later time. Wow, really? He asks. Shin realizes that he almost forgot this is an incredible merit. An archer who's able to hit his target even when shooting into empty space. With the blessings of the world, there was no need to worry about him running out of arrows. That is the Archer of Miracles. Shin introduces Hashimoto Yuki, the Archer of Miracles, who was given the greatest of praises among archers, given his destructive powers and high luck stat. Even though some people suspected that stories of his deeds were mere lies of hoaxes, in reality, it was thanks to his 2 constellation contracts. The one who allowed the impossible to be possible was Goddess of Luck. Shin smiles as he says that if 3 constellations appear in front of him like this, he would have to think about it. After hearing it, the 3 constellations insist that he ignore his worries and decide his own fate, and one constellation argues that he might have made the wrong decision. Maybe that one constellation is the Pilgrim of Grand Space. Goddess of Luck is an amazing constellation, there's no doubt about it, but if he considers the possibility that he won't have any other constellations visiting him, his decision here will decide his fate as a player. At the end of his first 10 years as a player, only one constellation decided to reach out to him, which was late bloomer model student. His appearance was like a ray of saving grace to Shin. He was delighted, although it was miserable up until then. He thought he had a bright future ahead of him. However, nothing changed. Nothing happened until he turned 55 because he never knew how much help a constellation can be. It was all because of those ridiculous requirements. Although the power of a constellation is important in a player's career, Shin was never able to use it. No, he didn't even bother to use it. Well, in the end, he was able to regress thanks to that constellation. So Shin should be grateful for it. However, that means he needs to be careful. He realizes that he has to assume that he won't be able to regress again. Holy powers? Destructiveness? Or luck? Which one will he choose, he wonders. He makes a decision that makes a contract with the Goddess of Luck. He receives a message informing him that even if the player were to die, the player's contract with the constellation will be valid for 30 years. Meanwhile, a being from another dimension is carefully glancing at player Shin Sang-yun and Goddess of Luck as they sign their contract. 15 friendly constellations are congratulating him on his contract and wish him the best. Whereas 3 hostile constellations, who were planning on forming a contract with him, have declared that they will do everything to stop his progress. Shin wonders why are the other constellations so interested in him? Well, anyway, he wishes good luck to both him and his constellation, and he moves his hands towards the goddess of luck. The goddess of luck praises him for his wise decision. Then, as he is about to speak something, the contract effects with the goddess of luck appears before him. He is informed that due to the contract, all attack attempts of his will result in a critical hit. Then, obtaining an artifact with a rank of unique or above will unlock its hidden effect. Not only that, he will also have a 100% chance to obtain an artifact from middle boss and boss monsters, even if their rank is low. Aren't all of these really broken skills? He shouts as he asks, because he is too astonished to witness the advantages of being in contract with the goddess of luck. Meanwhile, the goddess shrinks. Then he sees another effect. It states that if he uses the points he gains when he levels up, he can increase his stats by 2 with 1 point if he invests in luck, also informing him that this effect will be applied to all bonus points that have already been used. After seeing this, he cries tears of joy. The goddess of luck looks back and asks what Shin will do with the other constellation's offers. Shin says it's fine. The two of them can return now. Since he needs to focus on his goddess, Pilgrim of Grand Space replies that he will wait for the next they meet, whereas the Cleaner of a Fallen Dimension warns Shin as he will try his best to cut off Shin's head, while the goddess of luck gets in a good mood, and she praises Shin for standing his ground. He thinks that with the effects from the goddess of luck, he doesn't need to worry about the near future. Instead, he needs to calm down while making his decisions, because there's bound to be a better chance later. He finally enters the boss room of dungeon number 101. He fights the boss with such ease that the goddess of luck is surprised, but she is cheering him on. Shin goes upwards to land a great hit to the boss, but the final boss, who is a goblin lord, is consumed by greed, and it deflects Shin's previous attack with his axe and pushes him backwards. Shin handles him swiftly. Then, the goblin lord inflicted him with status ailment Overwhelm. Shin smiles as if he was waiting for it. He says that it's finally here, Overwhelm. Although it's not as deadly as the skill Stun, it's able to forcibly reduce a target's motivation to fight. Shin starts to activate recovery some moments before the Goblin Lord strikes. He says that even though there are clear limitations to that skill, it's not able to completely stop the target from moving. He guesses that the skill Overwhelm could be useful when killing weaker mobs. While he stops the Goblin Lord's axe with his long sword, his skill recovery level 1 gets activated, and due to his recovery skill, the status ailment Overwhelm has been deactivated. He says that now it's time to test his luck. The Goblin Lord is shocked as he sweats and again tries to inflict his skill Overwhelm on Shin, but it doesn't work, and Shin slices the shoulder of the goblin. Due to his skill, Demon Bash level 1, the Goblin Lord has been stunned for 2 seconds. Shin starts to slice the goblin from different parts. He activates the first effect of delay, and the effect of stun has been extended by another 2.0 seconds. Shin then uses the second effect of delay, which has a 90% chance of being activated, and due to his luck, the effect of stun has been extended. He smiles since the second time worked too, while the Goblin Lord feels utter despair before its demise. It falls down, marking Shin complete victory. Thus he cleared the suffocating Goblin Swamp dungeon. He leveled up and obtained a D-rank title, Don't Touch Me, he cries as the battle is finally over. The D-rank title increases his luck by 30 points and evasion by 10 points. Moreover, it has an additional effect. He can strengthen one of his skills, and the player system will apply buffs accordingly. First, there were those thugs who followed him, and now the dungeon. He wonders whether he is pushing his body too much. The Goddess of Luck mentions that Shin must have some pretty good luck if he was able to do everything he did today. Shin replies that most people will assume that he was just skilled, instead of saying something about luck. The goddess of luck says that having good luck is a skill as well, and that she is glad that she supports such a lucky player. Shin says that she changed her stance real quick. Meanwhile, the goddess of luck says that she thinks it is all thanks to her. Shin ignores her and goes to level up his luck stat first, which upsets the goddess. He sees that his luck stat is already over 100, which means once one stat is over 100, any related effects receive a 10% additional bonus. For example, his evasion stat increases his evasion rate, and his luck stat increases artifact drop rates. He acquires the Shield of Goodness from the Goblin Lord. He says that it doesn't matter, though, since he already gets a guaranteed drop thanks to the Goddess of Luck. If that's the case, he assumes that increasing his luck stat might increase the rank of the artifact drops. The goddess gets happy and hugs him, hearing Shin praising her, and then he starts mana synchronization with the Shield of Goodness. Shin thinks that, at the very least, the goddess of luck will be more bothersome compared to late bloomer model student. In the next scene, near Jamsel Station Quest area, Shin is being rejected to go inside a specific dungeon. He tells her that he understands what she is saying, but he has his own thoughts in mind. The girl says that she is really sorry, really, but she can't let him go and tells him to just rethink his idea. Moreover, she says that this is too much for her, too, since he doesn't understand how many bodies she has had to look at today. On the contrary, Shin is thinking that he can't let this stop him. 2 hours ago at Honam Expressway, he was driving his car, thinking about the dish that appeared. He was worried since it was a shield that a goblin used. He is glad he only got rice and kimchi. Suddenly his car started malfunctioning and many warning lights appeared. "Do I need to get a new car?" he asked himself. Then he thought that this car is one thing, but he also need to move soon. Being at an awkward level, he is statistically more likely to be involved in more crimes. He can't keep living in constant fear. It'll be easier for him to live in a player town, where constant surveillance is present and with all the artifacts he would need. He realized that he needs to think about buying used equipment to make the process easier. Money was the only answer he could come up with. He thought that he needs money, a lot of money. And right now, there is only one place where he can make that much money. The system was created alongside the Age of Players, and an organization that manages those quests is known as the Players Association. In a system controlled by the Players Association, he firstly said he can do it. Then he said he will do it no matter what. Back to the present, he has made no progress whatsoever. He sighs as he says that he can't believe he is being stopped at the entrance. The lady tells him to enter an appropriately suited dungeon for him, since he hasn't even been ranked yet. "Why are you trying to enter a level 100 dungeon?" she asks. Shin replies, saying he is confident that he won't cause any issues, and tells her to just trust him. He thinks that even though he is only level 17, going to a low-level area right now would be a waste of his time. The lady trembles as she cries, saying that she had someone say the exact same thing. "What do you think happened?" she asks. She begs, telling Shin to just go to a lower-level region. Shin understands what she's saying, though. Plenty of people have died because they overestimated their abilities. However, he thinks that has to remain steadfast, so he adamantly refuses the lady's kind offer. At that moment, a girl appears, asking, "What happened?" The lady replies, saying it's nothing, and the girl who is affiliated with the Eden Guild. Her name is Kim Miso. She is currently at level 100, and her rank is A+. She says hi to Shin. Shin introduces Kim Miso as the Marksman of Devastation. She's the first player to reach level 100 and earn the title of Marksman. Although her skills are incredible, what makes her stand out is that she is the daughter of Shinsung Biotechnics' president, Kim Yoon-cheol. Shin Tae-ri, the shadow assassin, who is known for her title and for being the nation's greatest assassin player and one of the nation's greatest swordsman players, Cho Jin-ho, are members of the same guild, with Kim Miso named Eden. She is the daughter of the majority shareholder corporation of the Eden Guild. In other words, she was born with the greatest diamond spoon in player history. At present, Miso says that she has never seen Shin before. She says she was watching, so she would like to ask, why is he interested in starting a level 100 quest? Shin plainly replies that it's because he needs money. The other players from behind are surprised to see that Kim Miso is talking to someone first, from her own accord. They say that Kim Miso is just being nice to a level 17 newbie. Meanwhile, Shin can hear all of their voices, and he calls them bastards. Miso tells Shin that the place he is aiming for will be challenging for him. Shin replies that he is well aware of that. He states 4 words, while acting coldly towards her, which are high risk, high return. He is not acting like this because he hates her. Even though he was rejected when he requested to join her party before he regressed. Even though he was rejected before, it's not like he is holding a grudge as he is talking to her. Are you aware that you are unable to proceed with the quest since solo player parties aren't allowed? Kim Miso asks. After hearing the question, now that he thinks about it, the solo player quest ban is only going to be lifted 4 years from now. So he decides to back off. He says that he must have read the announcement wrong and intends to leave. He halts as he listens to Kim Miso making an offer to him. She asks whether he would like to go to the dungeon with her. The same previous 3 players are still watching, and they are jealous to see Kim Miso making an offer. Just what is she plotting? Shin wonders. He asks about her conditions. Miso replies that she has no conditions and she is just helping a fellow player. Shin states that he happened to have a hard time trusting people. On the other hand, Miso replies that she really has no conditions. She says that rather than a condition, she would like for him to make a promise with her. She says that if he happens to disappoint her, he will better pay for it. However, if he can back up his words, she will sincerely apologize for her actions. Now, Shin looks at the bigger picture. He sees that Kim Miso is trying to test him. Kim Miso's influence doesn't stop at being a player. Any clothes that she wears skyrocket in price. Anything that comes out of her mouth is noted in dozens of articles. However, the moment that she sees you as a player filled with confidence, that person can pretty much guarantee the end of his player career. Why don't we leave right now? Shin asks, thinking that this will be interesting. As while ago, Miso arrived at the quest area. She tells her guard to go and take care of his work. All of the guild members have full schedules, so it's a bit hostile. Miso have to find party members to go with. As she enter a staff hand over her level badge. At that time, Shin was arguing with the staff. Coincidentally, Kim Miso had a reason to go with Shin Sang-yun, the minimum party requirement rule for the quest. It was an annoying obstacle for Kim Miso as well. In the midst of that, she spotted a confident player, a situation where no one knew what that player was capable of. It was quite an interesting situation for her as well. That's why she approached Shin. Now Miso asked the staff to show her the quest that Shin is planning to take. The staff search for it quickly and shows it to her. It is a defense quest, where they have to eliminate all monsters rushing toward the Guardian Tower. If the Guarding Tower's core is destroyed, the quest ends as a failure. The monster type is Wolf, and there are 300 monsters. What? It's not a collection or hunt quest. It's a defense quest. These types of quests require you to defeat every incoming monster to clear them. It's a rule of thumb to always have at least one ranged damage dealer in a 4-person party. And he planned to do this alone? If I wasn't here, he would basically be dead. Miso thinks this after seeing the quest. Shin asked her if she is nervous. What? Kim Miso asked. Shin says that as she suddenly went silent, so he thought that she is nervous. Shin further says that if it's too much, they can gather more members to go with. Kim Miso is shaking out of anger. She maintains her composure and grabs Shin's hand and says that there is no problem at all. Saying this, she accepts the quest. After that, the both of them are teleported to the quest area. The staff woman is worried, but she thinks that as Kim Miso is with Shin, nothing bad will happen. The guys standing beside get shocked to see that Shin really went to the quest with Kim Miso. They wonders how can a level 17 player defeat monster of level 100. Hey can't find the reason why Kim Miso, who is currently praised as the youngest A+ rank player, take Shin with her. The guys then starts talking about the about the recently revised ranking system by the Player Association. This new ranking system is made because judging strength purely by player level wasn't accurate. Now there are two conditions for ranking. First, the number of dungeon clears. Second, an overall evaluation of the player's combat sense. But that means Kim Miso got A+ rank only based on her combat sense. One of them asked why she is ranked A+ not A. One guy says that there are even bigger monsters above her. However, as Kim Miso takes Shin into the quest, the guys are jealous of Shin. Inside the quest area, we can see it's nighttime, and Kim Miso is standing at the top of a building with her bow. She is ready to help Shin when things get dangerous. But first, she wants Shin to experience troublesome situation to break his arrogance. And minutes earlier, when they entered the area, Shin tells Kim Miso not to interfere until he asks so. Shin tells her to focus strictly on support, and after the quest end, he will give her 5% of the reward. Do you think I'm hesitating because of the conditions? There's absolutely no way you can handle it alone. It's at least 300 of them. 300! Even as a level 100, this is a quest I would struggle to handle alone. Kim Miso says this. Shin gives her a look and tell her to just watch and see. Sigh, fine. Then for every monster you miss, your cut decreases by 1%. If you miss 95, you get nothing. Got it? Kim Miso says. In the meantime, the monster starts to appear. Shin takes his longsword and says that that won't happen, because he is going to slay each one of them. Saying this, he rushed at the wolves. Within a few moves, he kills several of the wolves. After killing the first wave, he smiles and says that its scream is surprisingly cute for how it looks. Kim Miso is observing the fight. She gets that Shin is not just an overconfident player, after all. That last strike was flawless. A stance that fully utilizes the reach advantage of a greatsword. It was the perfect posture, just like what her guild's swordsman Jinho Appa always talked about, offense and defense as one, and on top of that, Shin minimized unnecessary movements, cutting down multiple enemies in a single strike. However, she thinks that to have that much confidence is no use as there are too many monsters. In the end, a level 17 player can't handle such an overwhelming number. Can't handle it. Wait a second. Something has felt off for a while now. Why exactly are the monsters not moving at all? Shin uses his Demon Bash skill and stuns all the monsters. Kim Miso is surprised to see the stun skill of Shin. She is so surprised that she is about to fall from the roof. But in the last moment, she moves quickly and saves herself. Kim Miso counted the stun time and sees that it lasts for 4 seconds. She is impressed as even her Jinho Appa's stun doesn't last that long. She wonders who Shin is, as he can calmly inflict status effects and wipe out the monsters. Shin slaying the monster, and it feels so easy for him. As he kills most of the blue wolves at that time, a huge black wolf appears. Shin is waiting for this. The black wolf howls loudly. Its howl has status effect. It stuns Shin is inflicted by it. Black Wolf Shin didn't face them much in his past life, but the fact that he feels a sense of familiarity must be because of this stun effect. The stun effect also goes towards Kim Miso, but she has been protected by an artifact. She gets shocked and she remembers that Black Wolf also has this stun effect. She completely forget it. She quickly gets up to attack as if she didn't help Shin. The situation will get dangerous. Even though Shin can apply stun, but the ability to remove stun is extremely rare. But thanks to Shin's recovery skill, he removed the stun and shocked Kim Miso. Shin rushed towards the wolf. Kim Miso. Does this even make sense? A near-perfect greatsword stance, an unusually long duration, and on top of that, he can also remove status effects? A level 17 player? The wolf is surprised to see Shin overcome its stun. The wolf panicked a bit in that brief moment. Shin gets under the wolf and stabs it directly in the stomach. He then slid and cut the wolf's belly open and eventually kills it. He then gets out. His full body is covered in blood. Kim Miso sees this, and she is mesmerized at this wonderful sight. She wonders what the hell is he. After killing the black wolf, Shin sits on top of it with a swag. He kills 299 monsters out of 300. His level rises a lot, and he gains a D-rank title. No fear. Title effect. Grants full resistance to status effects caused by the howls of wolf-type monsters. However, boss monsters are excluded. Shin looks at Kim Miso. He can clearly see that the doubtful stares from before seem to have vanished. Now they've completely switched to spectator mode. Shin stands up to stretch his body a bit. At that time, a humanoid wolf monster appears above him. This is the final boss of this quest, the full moon wolf lord. The wolf howls and attacks Shin. The ground breaks due to the impact of the attack. Fortunately, Shin jumps and dodges it. This monster's attacks are known for being unpredictable. However, 30 years later, all of its patterns have been analyzed. Shin rushed to attack and says sorry for knowing all of its pattern. He cut the wolf's neck. But due to the monster's skill resistance, the Demon Bash skill didn't active. Shin expected this much for a monster above 100 level. Kim Miso thinks that Shin is insane. There aren't just a handful of things to note about him. Not only does he have a method to deactivate the stun debuff, but he's also capable of handling that heavy-looking sword as if it's a feather. The wolf rushed towards Shin to bite him. Shin dodges it by an inch. The wolf is fast and it quickly changes its direction of attack. Shin uses his longsword to block it. Kim Miso is in awe to see that he's also aware of every irregular move pattern of the Wolf Lord. However, she finds Shin's attitude to prove his strength to her annoying. While fighting, Shin occasionally looks at her and smiles. The fight goes no. Shin is running as he didn't know that the battle will be so lengthy. He is also out of cool tricks to show off to Kim Miso. He is hoping that the monster's tired out. The wolf didn't leave him alone. It follows him and tries to attack. At the rate who things are going, Shin might pass out before the wolf. His HP and stamina drop significantly. Only more than 100 HP is left. Shin then looks at the wolf and sees that it's using attack pattern that he is very familiar with. The wolf is using its strong attack as bait for a counter, so that it can go for a piercing attack. This is the signature attack pattern of the Wolf Lord that took the lives of countless players. Shin drifts and turns around. He is about to use a technique that he didn't use before in a combat, so he is a bit nervous. He swings his sword hard and cuts the wolf's hand. The wolf uses its other hand to attack. This time, it successfully lands the attack on Shin and send him flying. Kim Miso is in despair to see this. She falls on her knees and tears starts to roll out of her eyes. She thinks that she is an idiot and she has no right to be a player. Even if Sang-yun has shown incredible feats of strength, as higher-level player, she let her guard down and allowed this to happen. As she feels sorry for Shin, she sees that a bright green light glows. Before coming here, Shin absorbed the shield of Kundus with his artifact devouring power. After devouring it, he received a skill called Sacrifice. This skill triggers healing upon special conditions. All damage dealt to a specific body part is converted into healing. If the damage dealt exceeds the player's total HP, the player will regain health equal to their max HP. This is a useful skill, but Shin has to choose a body part for sacrifice. A panel where he can select the body part appears. Now he has to choose one out of the 16 body parts. In most cases, choosing your rear side would be safer. But since the back is divided into 4 parts, it's too inefficient. If that's the case, it'd make more sense to select the front, the body. Shin uses his front as a sacrifice, and as the wolf attacks there, the condition fulfilled, and he recovers all of his HP. The wolf gets nervous to see Shin has recovered full. This time Shin's demon bash skill activated, and the wolf is stunned. Shin is lucky as he didn't think that cutting of its right arm would break through the wolf's skill resistance. Now then Shin raises his sword and kills the wolf. Kim Miso comes down and gets closer to Shin. Shin is taking to himself that his demon bash worked on the 3rd time, and he was able to kill it swiftly. He then looks at Kim Miso as says, "You finally came here. You could have told me you had a healing skill. I thought you really were a goner. Are you living your second life or something? How do you know all the Wolf Lord's attack patterns? I've met countless players before, but I think you're the first to battle me like this." It's as if Kim Miso stops after saying this. Shin gives a deathly look and asked as if what?